The air was thick with the scent of old parchment and incense as Brother Thomas meticulously sifted through the dusty scrolls in the Abbey of St. Denis. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the stone walls, a testament to the centuries of history contained within the Abbey's hallowed halls. Thomas, an aged monk with a reputation for uncovering ancient secrets, felt a strange sensation as he unrolled a particularly weathered scroll. The scroll, written in a forgotten script, spoke of a time when the world would be plunged into chaos. It foretold the rise of 4 knights who would emerge from the shadows to restore balance. They were the 4 knights of apocalypse, war, famine, pestilence, and death. Alongside their emergence, the prophecy mentioned the return of the 10 Commandments, sacred tablets lost to the sands of time but destined to guide humanity once more. Brother Thomas's heart raced as he deciphered the text. This prophecy, buried deep within the Abbey's archives, was unlike anything he had encountered. It was not just a tale of doom and destruction but a beacon of hope. The 10 Commandments, once bestowed by God to guide humanity, held the key to restoring order. The news of the prophecy spread like wildfire across Europe. Kingdoms and empires buzzed with rumors and speculation. Who were these knights? Where were they now? And most importantly, where were the 10 Commandments? In the heart of Francia, a seasoned warrior stood atop a hill, overlooking a vast battlefield. Sir Roland, known throughout the land for his unmatched prowess in combat, had seen countless battles and emerged victorious. His crimson armor, now dented and scarred, bore testament to his many encounters with death. Roland's life had been one of constant warfare. Raised in a noble family, he had trained from a young age to become a knight. His skills with the sword were legendary, and his tactical genius had won many battles for Francia. Yet, despite his victories, Roland felt a growing emptiness within him. The constant bloodshed and loss weighed heavily on his soul. One evening, as Roland sharpened his sword by the campfire, a messenger arrived with urgent news. The prophecy discovered by Brother Thomas had reached his ears. Intrigued by the mention of the 10 Commandments and the role of the 4 knights, Roland felt a spark of hope ignite within him. This was not just another battle to fight, it was a quest for something greater, a chance to restore balance and perhaps find peace within himself. Determined to uncover the truth of the prophecy, Roland set out on a journey to the ruins of Carthage, where it was said the 4 knights would meet. His heart pounded with anticipation as he rode through the night, the weight of his past battles lightening with each mile. In a once prosperous noble estate now overgrown with wildflowers and weeds, Lady Elara sat by a window, gazing at the barren fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. She had been a child when famine struck, decimating her family and their wealth. The memories of those harrowing days, filled with hunger and desperation, had shaped her into the resilient woman she had become. Elara's knowledge of survival and strategy was unparalleled. She had learned to make do with little, to find sustenance where others saw only barrenness. Her resourcefulness and intelligence had earned her respect and fear alike. When the prophecy of the 4 knights reached her, Elara felt a stirring within her heart. The mention of famine resonated deeply with her, a reminder of the suffering she had endured and overcome. She saw in the prophecy an opportunity to use her skills for a greater purpose, to prevent others from experiencing the same despair she had known. With determination in her eyes, Elara packed her belongings and set out for Carthage. The journey was arduous, but each step brought her closer to her destiny. She knew that her knowledge and resilience would be vital in the quest to restore the 10 Commandments and bring balance to a world. In a small, plague-ridden village on the outskirts of the Holy Roman Empire, Sir Osric moved from house to house, tending to the sick. A healer by training, Osric had dedicated his life to fighting disease and saving lives. Yet, the constant waves of pestilence had turned him into a warrior, battling not just illness but the despair and death it brought. Osric's journey had been a difficult one. Born to a family of physicians, he had always been drawn to the healing arts. However, the relentless spread of plagues had forced him to take up arms, combining his medical knowledge with the skills of a warrior. His cloak of raven feathers symbolized both his role as a harbinger of death and his dedication to saving lives. The prophecy of the 4 Knights and the return of the 10 Commandments reached Osric as he cared for a dying child. The words resonated deeply within him. Pestilence had shaped his life, but this prophecy offered a chance to change its course. It was an opportunity to restore balance and perhaps find a cure for the suffering that plagued humanity. With a heavy heart but a resolute spirit, Osric set out for Carthage. The journey was fraught with danger, but he pressed on, driven by the hope. In the ancient, mist-covered forests of Britannia, Lady Isolde moved silently among the trees. Her presence was a whisper, a shadow among shadows. Known for her ability to communicate with the dead, Isolde was both feared and revered. She had seen the passage of countless souls and understood the delicate balance between life and death. Isolde's life had been shrouded in mystery. As a child, she had shown a unique ability to sense the presence of spirits, a gift that set her apart from others. Over time, she learned to embrace her abilities, guiding lost souls to the afterlife and offering solace to the grieving. The prophecy of the 4 Knights reached Isolde through a restless spirit seeking peace. The mention of death resonated deeply with her, a reminder of her own role in the balance of life. The prophecy spoke of a greater purpose, a chance to restore harmony and guide humanity. The ruins of Carthage, once a magnificent city of the ancient world, now stood as a testament to time's relentless march. Among the crumbling columns and broken walls, 4 figures converged, each guided by the same prophecy. Sir Roland arrived first, his crimson armor glinting in the fading light of the setting sun. He stood by the remnants of a grand temple, scanning the horizon for any sign of the other knights. Soon after, Lady Elara emerged from the shadows of a nearby archway, her movements graceful and determined. Sir Osric followed, his raven-feathered cloak fluttering in the evening breeze. Finally, Lady Isolde appeared, her presence almost ethereal, as if she had materialized from the mist itself. The 4 knights exchanged wary glances, each sizing up the others. Despite their differences, they felt an unspoken bond, a sense of destiny that had brought them together. "We are the 4 Knights of Apocalypse," Roland began, his voice steady. "The prophecy speaks of our role in restoring the 10 Commandments and bringing balance to the world." Elara nodded. "We must find the ancient scroll hidden here in Carthage. It will guide us on our journey." The knights searched the ruins methodically, their combined skills and knowledge proving invaluable. Hours passed before they uncovered a hidden chamber beneath the temple. Inside, they found a scroll, its parchment brittle with age. Roland unrolled the scroll carefully, revealing intricate writings and symbols. "This is it," he whispered. "Our journey begins here." With the scroll in their possession, the knights set off on their journey. Their path was fraught with danger, but they faced each challenge with determination and unity. They traveled through the scorching deserts of Arabia, their spirits tested by the relentless heat and sandstorms. Elara's knowledge of survival proved crucial, her strategies ensuring they found water and shelter where others would have perished. In the snow-capped mountains of the Alps, the knights battled freezing temperatures and treacherous terrain. Roland's strength and leadership guided them through the perilous journey, his courage inspiring the others to push forward. As they traversed the dense forests of Germania, they encountered wild beasts and hostile tribes. Osric's healing skills saved them from venomous bites and wounds, while Isolde's ability to sense danger and communicate with spirits helped them avoid traps and ambushes. Their journey led them to an ancient battlefield, where the air was thick with the memories of past conflicts. The ground was littered with remnants of armor and weapons, a haunting reminder of the bloodshed that had taken place there. "This is the trial of war," Roland said, his voice echoing in the stillness. "I must face the spirits of fallen warriors and understand the true meaning of valor." As Roland stepped onto the battlefield, ghostly figures began to materialize, their faces twisted with anger and sorrow. They were the spirits of warriors who had died in battle, their souls unable to find peace. One by one, the spirits confronted Roland, challenging him to duels. He fought with skill and honor, each victory bringing him closer to understanding the burden of war. The final spirit, a warrior king, stood before him, their duel fierce and unrelenting. In the end, Roland emerged victorious, the spirit bowing before him. "You have proven your worth," the warrior king said. "You understand that true valor lies not in the victory, but in the sacrifice." Their journey continued to a desolate village plagued by drought. The villagers, gaunt and desperate, looked to the knights with pleading eyes. "This is the trial of famine," Elara said, her voice heavy with empathy. "I must discover the power of sacrifice and the strength found in unity." Elara worked tirelessly to help the villagers, using her knowledge to find food and water. She organized the community, teaching them to work together and share resources. Despite her efforts, the situation remained dire. "We must sacrifice for the greater good," she said. "I will give up my portion of food and water so that others may live." Her selflessness inspired the villagers, who followed her example. They pooled their resources and supported each other, their unity giving them the strength to survive. As the village began to recover, Elara realized that true strength lay in compassion and sacrifice. Their path led them to a quarantined city, its streets eerily silent and deserted. The air was thick with the stench of disease, and the few remaining inhabitants were gaunt and fearful. "This is the trial of pestilence," Osric said, his face grim. "I must battle a new plague and understand the balance between life and death." Osric set up a makeshift clinic, using his medical knowledge to treat the sick. He worked tirelessly, his hands steady despite the overwhelming despair around him. Each day brought new challenges, the plague evolving and spreading rapidly. As the situation grew dire, Osric faced a moral dilemma. A young child, infected with the plague, lay on the brink of death. The only way to save the child was to use a rare herb, one that could also cure many others. With a heavy heart, Osric chose to save the child, understanding that sometimes, individual lives must be prioritized. His decision, though difficult, taught him the delicate balance between life and death, and the true power of healing. The knights descended into the haunted catacombs beneath Rome, their path illuminated by flickering torches. The air was thick with the presence of restless spirits, their whispers echoing through the darkness. "This is the trial of death," Isolde said, her voice barely audible. "I must communicate with these spirits and learn the importance of letting go." Isolde moved through the catacombs, her senses attuned to the presence of the dead. She listened to their stories, offering solace and guidance. Each spirit had a tale of unfinished business, their souls unable to find peace. As she delved deeper, Isolde encountered the spirit of a young woman who had died tragically. The woman's grief and anger were palpable, her presence a manifestation of unresolved pain. Isolde spoke with the spirit, understanding her sorrow and offering words of comfort. She helped the woman find closure, guiding her towards the light. As the spirit passed on, Isolde realized that death was not an end, but a transition, and that true peace came from letting go. Their journey led them to Jerusalem, where ancient scrolls indicated the 10 Commandments were hidden in the Temple Mount. The city was a bustling hub of activity, its streets filled with pilgrims and traders. The knights approached the sacred site, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they entered the temple, they were confronted by a guardian angel, a majestic figure with wings of light and a sword of fire. "The 10 Commandments are not easily given," the angel said, its voice resonating with divine authority. "You must prove your worthiness in battle." The knights faced the angel in a climactic battle, their skills and unity tested to the limit. Each knight drew upon their trials, their strengths combining to form a formidable force. The battle was fierce, the air crackling with energy as swords clashed and magic surged. In the end, the knights' determination and faith prevailed. The angel, recognizing their worthiness, sheathed its sword and stepped aside. "You have proven yourselves," the angel said. "The 10 Commandments are yours to restore balance to the world." With reverence, the knights retrieved the 10 Commandments from the sacred altar. As they touched the tablets, a divine light enveloped them, each knight receiving a blessing symbolizing their virtues. Sir Roland felt a surge of courage and justice, his spirit fortified by the divine power. Lady Elara was filled with compassion and sustenance, her heart overflowing with empathy. Sir Osric was imbued with the power of healing, his hands glowing with a soothing light. Lady Isolde received the wisdom of the ages, her connection to the spirit world deepening. The knights stood together, their hearts united by the divine mission. They had faced their trials and emerged stronger, ready to bring the 10 Commandments back to the world. The journey back to Europe was filled with triumph and reflection. The knights, now bonded by their shared experiences, traveled as one. Their return was met with celebration and awe, the people hailing them as saviors. Each knight embraced their new roles, their virtues guiding their actions. Roland became a symbol of just war and courage, leading armies with honor and integrity. Elara used her compassion and resourcefulness to help communities thrive. Osric dedicated his life to healing, his hands bringing solace to the suffering. Isolde continued to guide lost souls, her wisdom offering peace to the grieving. The return of the 10 Commandments ushered in a new era of peace and prosperity. The sacred tablets, once lost, now guided humanity with divine wisdom. Kingdoms and empires embraced the commandments, their laws and actions reflecting the virtues of the four knights. The legacy of the four knights of Apocalypse lived on, their stories told across generations. They were remembered not as harbingers of doom, but as guardians of divine law and human resilience. Their journey had transformed the world, their virtues lighting the path to a brighter future. Like, subscribe and share for more interesting stories.